Hi guys, it's Taylor, and today, as you can tell by the title below, I am doing how to make your own moisturizing lipstick with crayons or old lipstick. So, without further ado, let's get on to this video. So, the first thing you're going to need is a pan of your choice. I'm just using a smaller pan, and then a glass container or jar that can be heated. So I filled mine up with water, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour my water into my pan. So I'm just pouring the water into my pan, and it's not completely full, but it's about 3/4 of the way full. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the stove. And remember to always be careful when you're doing this. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it to about medium heat. And while I'm doing that, we're going to be using the glass jar that you picked out. And you're going to be taking either you can take a few things: Vaseline, coconut oil, or just any old chapstick you have laying around the house. So I am taking my little chapstick here that I don't use anymore, and I'm just taking a little bit off. With my knife, so be very careful when you're doing this. And if you already have a chapstick and you're not going to use coconut oil or Vaseline, it will already be flavored and smelling. So that's about as much as I'm taking. So I'm just going to put that in the bottom of my jar. And then I'm going to, if you're using lipstick, which I'll be using for my next one, I'll be doing 2 examples for you. You can take a little bit of your lipstick, or you can take the crayon. So what you're going to do is just unwrap the crayon you're going to use, and I'm going to use this pink, but I'm going to add a little bit of red into it because this is too pinky for me. So I'm going to unwrap this and be right back. So I just unwrapped my crayon, and I forgot to mention, but make sure you're using non-toxic crayons. Crayola is non-toxic, so you can go purchase Crayola crayons. And so I'm just going to take about that much of my crayon and go ahead and put it in my bowl with my chapstick. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a tiny bit of my red crayon in there. So I just have a little bit of red in there. So now, as you can probably hear, my water is not quite boiling, but simmering. So I'm just going to turn it down a little bit after you start to hear it bubble a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and place this on the pan. So far inside, you can see I have the crayon and the chapstick, and I turned the heat down, and I'm just going to place this. It doesn't have to touch the water, and it can touch the water, and it depends on what sizes you got. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take one of my metal spoons and just start stirring. And it should start turning into liquid pretty fast, but you might need to give it a few minutes. While I'm waiting for this to turn into liquid, I was going to make sure that you guys have a container, and so what I'm using as a container is an empty eyeshadow pot. You can use an empty eyeliner pot, eyeshadow pot, or you can purchase these at Dollar Tree or get any container you want, but I like these because they're real little and they fit the chapstick in there perfect. So that's my container for the crayon lipstick. And then my next container is a mint container that was decorated. It's Altoids. So now make sure to turn down, to stir your thing. And I'm going to turn down my heat a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and start stirring this, kind of chopping the crayon up. I'm going to let the smoke out. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep stirring this. And if you're using coconut oil or Vaseline, do the same exact steps and the same exact thing, except you just want to put some vanilla or give it a scent or a taste or whatever. But mine smells and is going to taste like lemon because I used a lemon EOS that I didn't use anymore. So I'll be back when this turns into liquid. So as you can see, it's pretty much liquid. I just have that little chunk that I'm letting melt. So I'm just going to keep stirring this until that little chunk melts. And as you can see, I think it's melted. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to turn off the stove and take this container that I have, and mine has a little dip so I can pour it in easily. And I'm going to go ahead and pour it into my container. So I did not make a lot. I could make more if I want, but I like to change up my color lipsticks, so I don't make a lot so that they run out pretty quick and I can make it again if I like it, or I can change the color up. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put on the cap, and I'm going to put it in the fridge for 30 minutes. So for this next one, it's going to be the same process, and I'm going to be using the same bowl, so it's going to have that little pink tint to it, which I'm okay with. And I'm going to take this lipstick that I like the shade, but it really dries out my lips, which is the only thing I don't like about it. So I'm just going to take some Carmex instead of my EO. So again, you can use any chapstick or a good amount of Carmex in there, and I'll show you guys in a second. And instead of taking the crayon and putting it in there, I'm just going to take a little bit of the lipstick and I'm just going to place it in the bowl. And again, I'm not doing a lot just because I like to switch up my colors, and I'm just going to put it all at the bottom of the bowl. So again, pretty much the same process, just using Carmex and lipstick instead of EOS and crayon. So now I'm just going to go ahead and turn the stove back on with the same water and same pot. And I'm going to go ahead and place the bowl over it. Just like last time, and also just like last time, I'm going to stir it until it is turned into a liquid. So now that it is liquid, I'm going to, again, pour it into my container, and I'm pouring it on one side because I'm going to have the other side for a different lip color. So I'm just going to place this in the fridge for 30 minutes and then it'll be ready to go and to use. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I might have sounded quite a bit confusing, but when you try this out, it's super easy. It takes about 10 minutes to make like 4 or 5. So it's super quick, super easy, super fun, and you get to kind of play around with the colors and choose your moisturizer and make your lipstick or whatever a lot more as a moisturizer instead of just a lipstick if it dries out your lips. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please add us on Twitter at Taylor and Friends and follow us on Instagram at Taylor and Friend _on_YouTube. Peace out, and I'll see you next time.